Good evening. Oh no.
Doing great, Brittny.
Thanks. Okay. Ooh. Good evening. All right. A neighbor walked past the house to see us crouching like cavemen in the near empty garage, now stripped of its disorganized piles of tools and water hoses. She waved, gave a worried smile, tugged at her dog's leash, and asked how I was doing. I stood up from the sorting I was doing to walk to the street to address her. She pointed to the 33 bags of garbage that lined the curb. "What's going on?" she asked. "We broke up. We're moving out." "Oh," she said. She didn't know us well enough to have feelings about this, which is fine. I continued to chat with her as he shuffled around a broom behind me and kicked leaves from the corners. The sound was a slow slog, long brushes coughing on moth wings and the legs of roaches. "I guess I'll leave you to it," she said. "We'll miss you around here." This wasn't true. We were rarely spoken to. Our immediate neighbors didn't trust us because we weren't married. They didn't allow their children to speak to us. And I didn't care if we would be missed. I was leaving for a better place. As for him, I hadn't asked where he was going. "I need to put the stickers on the bags. Don't let me forget," he said. "Yep," I said. You can't merely put 33 bags of garbage out at your curb and expect a truck to take it all. You have to register the bags with the city. You purchase a neon green sticker for $1 a piece. You purchase 33 of these stickers. You slap them on the bags, making sure that they appear on the side of the bag facing the street, otherwise the garbage truck will not take them. It's these small details that make splitting up a life the world's worst chore. Yes, of course, there's the emotional heft of a breakup and all of the crying, but that's not nearly so soul-crushing as renting a moving truck. I absent-mindedly planned to move on my ex's birthday without even realizing what I was doing. It wasn't until the night before when I told him and I saw his face fall lower than it had ever been. I just hadn't seen a calendar in days. It's amazing the amount of trash you can live with for years without ever knowing. Surrounding you, piling up around you, living in your drawers and closets like a drifter along for the ride. Buttons to nothing, guides for microwaves that stop working after a day. Very old tea. On a regular day, it's easy to throw away very old tea. But on a day when you're heavy with grief, it's not easy. There's a good reason not to drink raspberry mint herbal tea. It tastes terrible. It sounds great, like something you could ice and drink on a hot day and finally be whole. I said to myself as I stood in the store looking at boxes of tea. But 5 years later, opened after one hot day and roundly dismissed as medicinal, it had been untouched and was infested with tiny bugs. On a regular day, I would never throw away a shoebox full of nail polish bottles collected from age 14 on. Never! Not only because of the emotional tie I had to every single bottle, but the environmental disaster I would create. Those 50 or so bottles probably killed at least 10 ducks. I don't know the conversion rate. Is it 7.2 ducks? But 2 panicky days before the landlord was to show up to look over the house, however, you have different priorities. Everything not moved had to go somewhere. The nail polish box had been with me for so long, and I hadn't done my nails in years, and I figured I was ready to move on from nail polish after all this. Ready to be an adult. Adults don't need bright yellow and dark purple nail polish. This is false, actually. Know that. 2 years later, I lament not having that box. 2 years later, my nails are a stormy blue-gray. I opened the box one final time before chucking it into a white trash bag. The canary yellow was purchased at 11 p.m. when I was 17, when I was with 2 of my closest friends at a nearby drugstore, having nothing better to do. The salmon pink was the first nail polish I owned, having received it along with a little manicure set from my grandma on Christmas when I was 12. I hadn't worn it in 15 years. The turquoise with the sparkles was my sister's. I somehow ended up with it. The red I wore to prom. The maroon I wore to college, and it matched the sweater that I wore holes in. The beige I bought in my 20s because I thought it made me look more mature. There was a lot of life in that box. I don't know what he threw away. It had to have been harder for him, as I was the one who ended it abruptly. After the sun went down, we started stickering the bags for the next day's trash pickup. Mosquitoes stuck to me as we made it down the line of 33 bags, making sure each one was properly positioned for its fate. It was the last thing we would do together.